Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to another edition of DIY Money.
DIY Money.
Where are we in the mix? Have I been in the last couple of DIYs?
No.
Have I not been?
No, you've been absent.
I
yeah.
have been absent. I mean,
Daniel
I know physically I've been absent, but I never know where we are in the queue.
A couple weeks ago, it was me and you, and then it was me and Daniel, and now it's me and you again.
Isn't it you and I?
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's been a minute since
business
grammar.
and math.
Yeah.
That's okay. I met a guy the other day who tried to correct me on a math thing. It was really awkward because he was wrong.
But he tried to correct you.
Yeah, he was like, and what happened was I was with another person who had a class of 2023 t-shirt on because he's a teacher. So the other gentleman tried to make a joke like, oh, you're graduating. Yeah, you're almost there. Keep going. And because I thought it was kind of funny, because clearly he's not graduating, I thought, and I go, yeah, we got, as long as we can do one more year, just get through that year and it'll be okay. And the guy was like, who taught you math? 2023? And I was like, I kind of paused because I'm like, that would mean one more school year. And so it got really weird. And I said, yeah, that's when he would graduate one more year. Anyways, it was interesting. I don't know. How do we get off on that?
Who knows?
So I was gone. I traveled. It's been a traveling type of time period for me. A lot of pent up trips, and that's okay. That's why we work. It's why we work hard.
Absolutely.
Work hard, but it's been a tough traveling. Let me tell you, traveling right now is not easy.
Are the airports just crazy?
The airports are crazy. I'm fine wearing a mask, so I'm not. This is not a political or statement or anything like that. But it's difficult to be on a long plane ride with a mask on. That's just, I don't like that physically. So I don't like that. That was difficult. Different places call for different, requirements. So I was in New York a few weeks back, and you're in New York. I mean, every time you turn around, you're flashing your vaccine card. You're, mask up. If you don't mask up, you get a weird look. Where we are, here in Kentucky, you walk in the grocery store, I don't wear a mask if I don't have to. And if you had one on, people are giving you weird looks for you. It's so weird.
Yeah, and I'm about to go to Florida, which is...
Well, there is no COVID there.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic... Yeah, I mean, I'm all for Florida. I mean, it's awesome down there. I mean, look, hey, it's been a difficult environment. I know people that have lost people. There's been challenges. I'm hopefully we're on the other side of this whole nonsense. Yeah, it's been difficult, but traveling's been good. The airports are packed. The planes are full. It's nice to see us back to sort of, some semblance of normalcy for sure.
Good.
Anyways, but we're rolling right into the holidays.
Yeah.
All right. It's Thanksgiving week. I don't know when this will air, but right now it's Thanksgiving week. So we've got a question that I bumped to the top of the queue. Here's a pro tip. If you want to get into the top of the queue, even though we have hundreds of questions, which we always want questions, send the questions in. Not saying you don't want to, but the way to get in the top of the queue is relevance. Have something that is relevant to the subject matter. So, somebody, I got a question that we may use. It might, not, it's a little too quick, but somebody said something about the strategic oil reserves. How does that impact the oil markets, et cetera? Great question, but by the time we get to it, it might be outdated. Anyways, you never know. But this one was interesting because it's rolling into Christmas, and I thought this was helpful. I love this question. I don't remember the name of the person who gave the question.
Daniel's normally our guy for that.
What is it? Canal. We said shortened KP or KT. Anyways, whatever. Great question about Christmas gifting stock. What do you got?
Hey DIY Money, this is KP from New Jersey, and my question today is, with the holidays coming up, I decided to give a non-traditional gift. Usually I do cash or gift cards, but this year I wanted to give my friends and relatives some stocks. So when I give them stocks as a gift, what price do they acquire at? Do they get the price that I purchased it at, or do they get it at market value? I'm just wondering, for tax purposes reasons, Please let me know if you can get a chance to hear this voice message.
Okay, KP, first of all, I'm going to approach it from the sort of qualitative aspect, and hopefully Logan knows more about the tax consequences of gifting stock. The reality is, I think gifting of stock, this is unique because most people are going to gift stock to a child or a family member or something like that, which I'm a huge advocate of, massive advocate of. But I don't know, KP, if I would select the stock for them and gift them. I think what I would encourage you to do if you're going down this road is give them a gift certificate to buy stock. And while we should be sponsored by them, in fact, I should reach out to them. They probably don't know about our podcast, but stockpile.com is the place when we had a junior question, which I'm still crickets for the junior questions. Would love more junior questions. DIY Money Junior. We gave the young man who sent us a question a gift certificate from Stockpile to buy his own stock. That will alleviate any of the tax consequences. You know, what's the price, what's the basis, etc. But I think that'd be the great way to give the gift of stock, alleviate any basis issues, etc. Now, that'd be my 2 cents for KP. But the real reason I brought this question out is I want to talk about gifting stock because I think it's amazing. So all of you parents out there, listen up, because I've said this numerous times. The reason I am in this business is because at 12 years of age, I was given some McDonald's stock, and it resonated with me. And you know what I mean if you have children. Some things resonate with kids, some things do not, and that's okay. You can try to force the issue a little bit, but it ain't going to work. So for example, I would have loved for one of my children to be a basketball player. I love basketball. I was semi-decent at it. It was a lot of fun. I knew the game. They have no interest.
No, they don't care.
Zero. And me pressing the issue would have just created an issue. I mean, let's face it, it would have been a problem. So I didn't. It is what it is. It didn't resonate with them. We have swimmers, right? I never swam. My wife never swam. They're swimmers. They love it. They're into it. So guess what? As a parent, I got into it. I think that's the role of parents, is to find what your kids are enjoying, what they like to do, and then you get there and you support them, etc. So I'm not saying that you buying stock for your kid is going to turn them into, someone who goes into the business. But I'm not saying it won't either, because again, what I learned at a young age was that by getting stock, I had ownership in the company.
Well, and doing it through like a Stockpile where you're given a $25 or $50 gift card, it's a small investment to help them get started.
And it will start the conversation. So people are like, well, what stock should I buy for them? What's a good stock? Or shouldn't I just buy the S&P 500? No kid just wants the S&P 500. Like, buy him a Tesla share. Now, that's a lot. That's an expensive. So I don't know if Stockpile allows fractional ownership, but you would want to do fractional ownership unless you just really want to spend, $2,000 on a Tesla share. That's fine. But something that they're interested in. I don't care what it is. Under Armour, Disney, Nike, none of these are recommendations, but I'm just sharing with you that it is wonderful to be able to have that conversation. Now, here's another thing, couple of things. I promise I'll let you talk.
No,
but I've been away. I've been away.
Do your thing.
I got the microphone. I've been away. Okay. Here's the other thing. Stockpile's fine, but if you're buying for your kid, I do think you should buy them the actual stock. Now, what I would do, this is just my 2 cents, I would open an account for them, a custodial account, which we've talked about 8 million times. I would buy them some stock, and then personally, I would go and create my own quasi-stock certificate. Literally, I would go on. I mean, you can all do this. You can clip art. You can take some. So let's say you're buying Disney, and you take this picture, and you could Google Disney stock certificate and know exactly what they look like. And I'm not saying you're forging a stock certificate, because Yeah, I actually am saying you're forging a stock certificate, but you're not going to use it. It's not a legal tender. You're not going to try to turn it in. But doing that, you could then frame it. You could then put it on their wall, and they would know they are owners of a stock, because the tangible aspect, a lot of people don't grasp.
Yep.
Where is it? What do you mean I own it? What do you mean, what do I own? Used to be back in the day, you had a certificate. So what took for me was, in addition to owning the McDonald's certificate, which I did every year in the annual report, I got a coupon for a hamburger. It was brilliant.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is
so
great.
I opened the annual report for McDonald's, didn't know what I was reading, whatever, but I knew I got a coupon, and I'd take it into hamburger, and it said shareholder coupon for 1 free hamburger. Why didn't they give us cheeseburger? Cheapskates. Ray Kroc. Nonsense. Anyways, no, it was fine. Saving money for the shareholders. So that's what I would do. Now, I have in the past, because when my kids were born, I wanted them to have a share. I bought them. I'll never forget this. I went online. There was a service. I bought 1 share of DreamWorks Animation for Joshua, my oldest son. Okay? Now, why did I buy DreamWorks Animation? He knew this. He knew the company, knew the movies, right? We were big into like Shrek and whatever. But it was one of the coolest stock certificates available. Like they literally, they still issued them, okay? But the company I bought it from, right? The stock was trading around $30 a share. So there's $30. It was framed. It was the certificate, and it was shipped to me. I spent $100 on 1 share of stock. Now, newsflash, it was a terrible investment. I never got the $100 back. DreamWorks was bought by Disney, I think.
Yeah.
They might have paid $40. I mean, it was terrible. So I would make my own stock certificate. If you're giving stock, wrap it up, put it up there. But then they know, hey, they have it in an account as well.
Yeah. Well, and I think you've talked about doing a good job of, once you have that initial framework, if your kids start getting interested in it, maybe pushing them towards listening to a podcast,
Oh,
or
yeah,
how I built
yeah.
this, or watch a YouTube video and stuff like that with
My
them as
kids
well.
have the greatest money-making opportunity ever, and they sadly don't take advantage of it like they should. Now, of course, once they have something in mind that they want, they start taking advantage of it. But I have told my children that they can earn $10 by listening to a podcast of my choice and then answering a series of questions that I have already laid out. And all they have to do is write it. They can't be one-word answers, legitimately. And they earn $10. It's about an hour to an hour and a half worth of time. And what I typically have done is I have used podcasts, not ours, because they don't want to listen to Dad, but I've used the How I Built This podcast, and I've used brands that they're familiar with.
Yeah.
So one of the greatest is How I Built This Five Guys restaurant. They love Five Guys cheeseburgers. So that's one of them that I've had them do. And I've done other ones like that. But sadly, Joshua, I think he's done maybe over his years 20, 25, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So it's a good amount. But if I were that kid, I'd probably do 10 a week. I'd be like, come on, Dad, I'm pushing you for what you got. All right, we're getting off track. Go ahead.
So when we're actually discussing what the tax consequence is of that, if you're giving stock, so if you're actually giving the stock, they will inherit basically your cost basis. So if you buy it for $10, you give it to them when it's $20, they will have it at $10. So if they sell it at the $20 or at $30, then they're going to pay tax on that gain there. As well, if you, for some reason, this is kind of a weird rule, but
I don't know. Sorry to interject, but if KP is buying, let's say I'm buying a stock for you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know how to do that. Meaning I would have to have a brokerage account for
Yes.
you, and I would have, that's not a thing.
Right.
I can't, it's not like Venmoing you money. I can't Venmo you my stock. So KP, don't do that.
Yeah, that's
The gift certificate is going to be much easier.
It's more difficult to do
Children
that. You have
different.
to transfer.
You
and
can
stuff.
actually go to a brokerage account. I could transfer to my child or my wife or something like that. But
Right.
but a non-spouse or nothing, you'd have to put them as joint account. Then you do that, and it could be a weird. Hey, here's your Christmas gift, but you got to come into the office, meet me at my broker next Tuesday. We got to sign some paperwork, and that just gets awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't do that.
I think utilizing a stockpile or something like that, and stockpile is just like Robinhood. I mean, you get it on your phone, and the if it's for a kid, they can open up a custodian account there and things like that. So that's the way I.
You
would
know
go
what
with
I'm
it,
getting
too.
you at Christmas this year? Jelly the Month Club. The
What?
gift that keeps on giving, Clark.
What?
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
I have no clue what you're talking
Oh my gosh, I'm podcast over. You don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no clue.
I am not going to enlighten you. I am
What?
not enlightening you. If you don't know the reference to the Jelly of the Month Club, the gift that keeps on giving,
No.
Clark.
I don't know.
Wow. Oh, it's okay. I love you. You're going to Google that later. And
Yes,
you're gonna,
I am.
You're going to, that's okay. All right, let's wrap it up.
Go
Wait,
ahead.
are you done? No, you got any more?
Yeah, no,
goodness?
that's it.
Oh, I've embarrassed you.
Well, now I don't know. Now I'm concerned.
It's concerning. It's concerning. I'm adding this now to the employment interview questionnaire. Do you know this quote? All right, let's wrap it up so Logan can find out that he is basically missing the greatest Christmas movie of all time. You surely know it, but you're just missing that quote. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Really? Nothing.
What movie?
Oh, okay. Let's wrap it up. All right, we'll come back. We got a couple of great coming episodes. I don't know why I'm introducing next episodes. It's not like we just tune into the podcast. Thanks for listening. Remember, friends, the secret to wealth is pretty simple. Live on less than you make, invest the rest, and do so for a very long time. Make it a great one.